Hey guys, it's Rush. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the channel. I did have planned a final Street Fighter 5 tech video for Ken, but a lot of the concepts that I had in this video, I think it was 5 things. I thought to myself, well, the game's coming to an end, and I also thought, well, a lot of these concepts won't really carry over to Street Fighter 6. So anyone moving from 5 to 6, it's kind of a waste of time mastering some of these techniques. So I scrapped that idea altogether, and I thought, well, what could I do instead of that type of video? I still wanted to discuss things that would be of use to people from my experiences from the game, and I thought, why not talk about some things, some lessons learned, and some areas of importance to me I've learned through not only just playing the game but making the content, streaming, and how my journey outside of streaming has interlinked with these sort of lessons learned. So I've got 10 things that I'm going to go through, some of which you might think, how has that got anything to do with Street Fighter 5? But we'll talk in a bit of detail. Again, I won't make the video too long, he says. But let's get straight into those 10 things now. So number one is, interesting enough, you're probably going to think, what? Be yourself. Now, this comes from two places. In real life, I've always aspired to be a very honest and genuine person. And looking back at my actions in my younger years, and even more recent, I say more recent, I'm talking about like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, my behaviors, I don't think I was hitting that point. I don't feel like I was genuine because I wasn't being honest with myself. So through this journey, the last few years, and doing all this content, I've got to know myself a lot more. And with my content, and this is what I always, with the content especially from day dot, I always try to be upfront, honest, genuine. It was never an act. It was never it was never drama. It was just, this is me. This is what I'm capable of doing. And if you like it, follow the community. If you don't, there's other people to watch. Depending on what you wanted from the content and the streamer, but I always aspired to be genuine. I think through making this content, there's 2 points to this. I learned more to be more comfortable in my own shoes and be myself. So there is that. But why this is important when it comes to Street Fighter 5 and content, more so streaming, is when you're streaming and when you're making your content, I feel you shouldn't try and be like anyone else. You can definitely take inspiration from other people and you can implement that in. Like, I'll give you an example where I work now. There's one guy in particular who he's very, very good at what he does. And I've learned a lot. I kind of see him like a bit of a mentor. He's very, very good at what he does. I like his personality. And there's lots of things I feel I've adopted from him. Like, it's even subconsciously, even some of like the witty remarks, I've adopted some of them. And it's quite funny. It's quite funny actually. I think it's something that I've adopted and I use a lot now, more than ever before. And when I realized I was doing that, I was like, wow, like that's crazy. Like, that person has inspired me. Being inspired is different to copying someone, because when you're copying someone, you're being disingenuine to yourself. Again, I'm going off on a bit of a rant, but my point is, be yourself, because only you can produce that energy that you produce. No one can really replicate you being yourself. And by doing that, you offer something to everyone out there that's genuine and different. You can't just, how do I word this? You can't just be yourself and be obnoxious and be rude and have no manners and, be, all those types of things. There are elements of being yourself that you have to question yourself and think, okay, I've got no one watching my videos, no one's watching my stream. Is there something I'm doing wrong? And whilst I'm saying, no, you don't change who you are and copy someone else. But what I'm saying is be conscious of how you're acting and, self-reflect basically. So I think that's a big lesson I've learned through this process. Number two, I don't want to swear at you, is embrace competition. Competition has always been something that I enjoy, but I always felt nervous about. I used to play in Sunday league teams. I was playing the school football team. There's competitive things I did at school. From truth be told, growing up, the thing I've always been best at was computer games. I was always like the best at computer games, regardless of the genre. So when I was competing with computer games, I always felt comfortable because I always knew I was like top dog. But when it came to situations where I wasn't that great, I did always feel uneasy, but that didn't stop me from competing in these environments. With Street Fighter 5, this is funny. So And a lot of people can relate to this in season 1. I used to play ranked probably like once a week. This is so funny. So I used to play ranked like once a week. I would go in and I remember my palms would be sweating. I'd be like, oh damn, I'm about to put my 2,700 LP on the line. Here we go. I see a Chun-Li on screen. Like, oh god, I'm going to lose now. This is it. It's over. And I would like play 2-3 ranked games a week, and I would log off, and that's it. I'll be so afraid of putting my points on the line. And it's wild to me, obviously. Like, I get it, because in the lower leagues the points are so volatile and you're so inexperienced, but it's mad. But as I played the game more and I jumped into ranked more, I did more online tournaments, I embraced the nerves and the energy that comes with competition. And I think that's a really important thing. And I think it holds a lot of people back. When you are afraid of trying something that you're uncomfortable with, i.e. ranked, when you're afraid of losing points, when you're afraid of entering tournaments, all you're doing is limiting your growth and your development. You're holding yourself back. So embracing competition is a huge thing, and I recommend that to, it's not even, this is the thing, this advice comes from Street Fighter 5, but this is just general advice. Number 3, gonna get mushy now. Embrace like-minded individuals. I think that's a really, really big one for me. A lesson that I learned through this process, and it does kind of relate to why I want to stop making this type of content in this environment, is the people around me. And I don't mean to sound in a bad way, but I think it's important to look at the people around you and how to word this. Do those people inspire you? Do those people bring you up? Are you learning from those people? And I think having a close circle of people that you can relate to, you can share life experiences with, you can learn from, you can educate and be educated from, kind of goes back to what I said about, in point 1 about the person at work that I feel like is like a mentor to me. That's really important. And there's people I've come across in the FGC, and I'll be honest, I don't like their energy. I don't like their agenda. I don't like how they centralize everything about themselves. That's one thing that was a real big put off for me with the FGC. There's a lot of people like that, but you get that in real life as well. But I feel having that close circle of people that you appreciate and again you're inspired by, that's been very important to me. I'm not going to name names, but there's many people that I've got close to, whether it be through YouTube comments, the Discord, people I played with, people I talk to on a regular basis about Street Fighter and nothing to do with Street Fighter. Those people, are very important to me because they've been a part of this journey and I've shared the journey with them and I've learned so much from them. So finding the right sort of people that you can grow with, because if you hang around with a bunch of people that are toxic and negative, it's all about them, make excuses, you're going to adopt that methodology, that type of thinking subconsciously. Goes back to what I said about point 1. I've picked up these habits from the person at work and they complement who I am. They're positive habits. You don't want to pick up negative habits because you will start using them subconsciously, and if you're not self-reflecting, you'll become more like that. So be careful of that one. All right, number four, skinny fingers. Number 4 is consistency / growth. Anything you do, whether it be YouTube, whether it be streams, whether it be in the gym, whether it be education, whether it be learning Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 6, you must be consistent with it. And I'm guilty of this. Now, there's things that just poor decisions I made in life that affected my consistency with my Street Fighter / content grind. That's on me. There's some situations that are beyond my control, but through the most part, I've had consistent stints. So I played a lot, had a break, played a lot, had a break, played a lot, had a break. Now that did affect I think it affected my content more than my Street Fighter 5 skills. Definitely affected both. But if you want to be good at something, to master something, to specialize in something, to see something grow, you need to be consistent. And I think people really neglect how important that is. And again, that's transferable to, like I said, it's in the gym, education, learning a new skill, it's whatever it is, consistency is key. And you've got to be committed, you've got to be disciplined, and you've got to make the time for it on a regular basis. And even when you think your skills are sharpened, you still have to go back to relearn those skills. So yeah, that's something I've learned through the YouTube mainly. I think like I saw the consistency and the growth. This is an interesting one. So number 5, my hand up. Number 5 is think before you react. Now, this is a weird one. It sounds like more life advice, right? It's very easy to come from a place of emotion when you respond, whether it be in game, whether it be on stream, again, just in real life. But I think it takes discipline to just pause for a second and then to think about the situation before you react. You've all seen me on stream. You know, I'm not the opposite of the salty streamer. I'm not the mad depressive streamer where I get everything wrong and I dwell on things way too much. You guys have seen it many, many times before. But that's because I go down that negative mindset path because things aren't going my way. I'm trying to execute certain things that don't go my way and I'm left there scratching my head. Sometimes you need to pause and just think, right, what am I doing wrong? What's the issue here? And how can I improve this situation? You know, staying up till 2 in the morning in ranked is not the solution to that problem. Let me tell you. Number 6, I need another finger here. Right, number 6 is take a rest. Now, this is something I was really bad at. With my content and with Street Fighter, I would push too hard. I would push too hard to the point where my back was broken from just being sat at this desk for so long, editing, working, streaming. Like I was actually like, sometimes after streams, I'd have to lie on the floor and just rest. And sometimes I couldn't even get off the ground. Like my back was hurting that bad. And it's because my life was not in balance. I was not taking care of myself physically. I was not eating the best. I was not sleeping very well. I was not getting enough sleep. And then I'm juggling kids on top of things. So rest and balance is super important. But I'm just trying to think. But I think with the nature of YouTube and the nature of Street Fighter 5, it's very addictive, and the addiction can sometimes overshadow, not overshadow, that's not the right word, can sometimes take over that discipline to say enough is enough now. Do you know what I mean? So taking rest and consistency are two difficult things to balance. I was trying to push the content, I was trying to push the streams. I overdid it, which upset the balance. So I had this level of consistency, but I was being way too pushy with the consistency, neglecting myself. So even that in itself, I was being consistent, but I was not getting the rest. And what would happen is I would get to a point where I felt so low in myself that then my consistency would drop because I would be in a situation where I couldn't continue at that pace. So it's funny how these things interlink, right? The consistency, the discipline, but the rest. If these things aren't in balance, everything starts to fall apart. And ultimately, if your health's not in check, mental, physical, it will affect everything. And again, that's something I've learned from this journey. And that's why I've come to this conclusion with my content as well. So number 6, that's a very, very important one. Take a rest. Know when to take a rest. Bro, this is number 7. Number 7 is one of my favorite numbers. Interesting thing, 23 and 7 are my numbers, which is, I like everyone's numbers, but they're my numbers anyway. But yeah, number 7, I like this one. Never give up. Never give up. You know, there's so many people I've seen in tournaments, in streams, who just give up. They just give up, like they've got no health, and they see the opponent's got like full health, and they actually give up. They put the pad down. I've done it before as well, but I can tell you something, man. You know, when you're at rock bottom, when you've got no health, but that red bar is shining, that V trigger bar, I'm telling you, something kicks in. There's some kind of adrenaline. There's some kind of, I'm talking about IRL V trigger as well here, you know, some kind of adrenaline, some kind of like power up. Something kicks into you where, you know, you almost like mentally slap yourself and fix up, and you push harder than you've ever pushed. And I've learned this through Street Fighter 5. I've learned it through tournament matches. I've learned it through matches online where I've just had this like killer instinct when I'm at the worst possible situation, and I've come through. I've learned that through the game. I've learned that through the content. And, you know, I'll be honest, this whole content slash IRL journey I've been on, like I've hit, like, I don't think many people will know how low I've been in some situations in myself. And this is stuff I can talk about moving forwards with the new content. But I've hit some really, really, really low points, and it's mad because I've never been in these places before. Even though I was in a worse spot when I was younger, I was so oblivious to everything going on around me that I didn't realize I was in a bad state. Now I'm, I see life for what it is, and I'm going through the rough of it right now. I went through some really hard times, but I can tell you, man, when I hit the lowest point, I don't know, like I just couldn't see myself staying there, and I had to do something. It happened with me. My announcement about ending my content and ending my streams with Street Fighter, I was at a low point in myself. The content was going well, but I was at a low point, and I said to myself, this really just isn't working for me anymore, and I had to do something. Again, that was like a low point, and I had to make a change. I had to hit that IRL V trigger button, and I had to do something about it. I had to take action. You know what I mean? I had to do something. If you give up, I don't know, as a man, like no one's gonna come and save you. No one, other than like your best friends, no one's gonna pick you up when you're down. It's down to you to do that. And if you sit there, give up and feel sorry for yourself, do you know what I mean? You kind of, I don't want to say you deserve to be there. That's a horrible thing to say, but it's down to you to push yourself. And I know it's hard. I've been there. I'm telling you, like there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about with the new content, but you just can't give up, man. You can't. And I'm telling you now, the last 7 years of doing this, I've probably mentally given up more times than like I've won one more on stream. If anyone knows that reference, I've given up so many times. I think I announced that I was giving up twice before I came back, not including this time. This is different this time. You can't give up if you're passionate about something. If you can't take another L, if you're backed in a corner, you can't give up, man. It's super important. So number seven, I like number 7. So number 8, 2 sets of 4s is hang on, I've already forgotten. Explore to evolve. I've got many examples I can give. That's the best example I can give of this. Let's go with the Street Fighter example. I saw back in season 1, I used to upload rage quit videos. There was tech videos, there's combo videos, and your man Rushy, previously known as Rushy_23 on PS4 with my whatever LP at the time. I don't know. I used to upload rage quit videos, and I remember uploading a rage quit video of a Guile main who lost a set, and he was not happy when he saw the video, and he called me out on the YouTube comments. He went in. He was the first person to ever go in on me on YouTube. And man, I just mate, it's like he punched me IRL. I was like, yo, what's happening? What's going on? So this dude was calling me out for my crazy EXDPs, my justification. I was trying to justify everything. I was like, no, I was doing this, I was doing that, doing this. But nothing I said made any sense. But the example I give here is sometimes you have to explore things that you wouldn't normally explore. So talk to people you wouldn't normally talk to, have conversations with people you don't particularly agree with regarding their opinion. But why that's important is because, number one, you can look at things from their perspective, which in itself you can learn. Even if you don't agree with what they're saying, you can learn things from looking at things from their perspective. And sometimes you can make better decisions based on the discussion you've had. Does that make sense? So this guy was coming at me saying you're trash and why the hell were you doing this and X, Y, and Z. I was saying no, the reason why I was doing this is because I was EXDPing your trip guard, which is wild, but it was working, but it makes no sense. But if I'd come at that guy at the time with a different energy and I read his comments and tried to understand what he was saying and then responded, it would have been a very, very different scenario, and I would have learned a lot through that. But I came with the energy of being defensive and in denial and trying to justify myself. And I didn't learn anything from that situation. And I think it's important. Again, I've forgotten how I weirdly worded this, explore to evolve. Yeah, I think sometimes you just have to, again, take a step back, just wait, don't react, respond, don't react. But you can learn things in some of the most strange places. And there's another example I can give, but it made the video too long. But yeah, talking to different people and hearing their sides, and you'd be surprised how much you can grow from people when you don't have that brick wall. Number 9. That's a 9, right? Yeah. Number 9 is, this is quite a short one. Short and sweet, but it's a fact of life. The ups come with the downs. Like, I'm when it comes to me and this whole content thing, I'm telling you, man, I feel like I've had more downs than ups. But I can tell you, man, like even hidden behind some of the downs have been some real ups, some real success. Uh, you have to ride the downs, man. You have to ride the hard times to experience the good times. And I do feel, it's just an honest opinion, the more you persevere through those hard times. I mentioned before, when you hit rock bottom, persevere. When the good times come, you'll look back and you'll be like, you know what? I'm glad I pushed. I'm glad I was consistent. I'm glad that I didn't give up to get to where am at now. And I think most people know this, but don't get too bogged down on the downs because the ups are worth it in the end. I think with that though, you have to have the opinion of, showing gratitude. You'll never express gratitude for the ups when they come. If you don't appreciate what you've got, type scenario. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And don't bask too much in the ups, because when you're up, it will come down again. Do you know what I mean? You just got to maintain the consistency, keep working hard, don't give up. And when you do hit a down, at least you're prepared and you're ready to fight the down when it comes. Right, and number 10, we got there in the end. Sorry if it's been a long video. Number 10 is, I've already forgotten. I'm not going to look actually. I'm not going to look. Number 10 is, I remember. It is learn when to say no. This is more just general life advice, but there are times where you have to say no. I'm turning the stream off. I am going to lose no more LP. That's enough LP for today. I'm not going to push my body and my mind any further today. That's enough. You must know when to say no, and you must learn when to say no to people as well. I'm going to be open and honest with you guys. There's many times I've sacrificed time because of the channel, because of the content, because of people's requests, because people want to run sets, because people want a video. I've had so many requests over the years to do X, Y, and Z. And I could sometimes feel, I was like, I'm not in a position to do what they've asked, but I would sacrifice time with family, with kids, sleep. I would, cut corners here and there to do stuff. And it comes at a cost. When you say yes, when really you want to say no, I don't know what it does to you, but it does something to you, and you don't notice it until the yeses stack up. And you do, I don't know, for me anyway, I felt very bad, not happy in myself, because I knew that I was kind of selling myself short. I wasn't being genuine. I wasn't being honest. I was putting myself in a situation where I felt frustrated, but I was still doing too much for other people. I'm not saying I say no to everyone now, but I need to know sometimes when enough is enough. That's number 10. So, like I said, guys, all these things, the two journeys have intertwined. So, real life Street Fighter / content. Sorry. Street Fighter, real life, my content. These things have taught me many things. Sound like a rapper, terrible rapper. But yeah, sorry. These 10 things, I can't think what else they are. I don't know. These 10 bits of advice I've learned through this process, and there's still so much more to learn. If we're not learning day by day, regardless of our age, then we're doing something wrong. But 10 important lessons I feel I've learned through this process. And it's wild how relatable the IRL stuff is to the Street Fighter stuff. Like, the lessons learned are so universal, and they expand from Street Fighter to the content, from the content to real life, and it just goes around in a circle really. So I sat down and I made that list. I had a good think about the 10 most important things. There's probably things that I miss. There's probably things that are not that great on that list, but I still think it's 10 valuable lessons to take from my experience. Yeah, feel free to discuss. I'm happy. This is a video. These are the videos I love chatting about in the comment section. So feel free to share your thoughts, and so maybe some of your own points for anyone else that's doing this. But yeah, look forward to getting in the comment section. I won't come at you with that same energy that I came at you with the rage quits. I promise. That poor Guile player. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.